That evening, all the engines had returned to the sheds, where Sir TopHam Hatt was waiting for them. But then, Edward noticed something. Sir? Where's Alfred? Asked Edward.
He's at the steamworks,
replied Sir TopHam Hatt, and he explained what had happened. The engines and the crews were surprised.
Serves him right,
said Adam.
indeed.
I had a feeling that his attitude would get the better of him, replied Adam's driver.
All right, everyone. Now that's out of the way, there is someone I'd like you to meet.
Just then, a whistle blew.
Who's that?
Asked Henry.
Everyone, I'd like you to meet Gordon.
There, slowly rolling onto the turntable, was a big green tender engine, one that the engines had never seen before.
What class is he, sir?
Asked Glenn.
He's actually a prototype of the LNER's new line of A-Class Express engines, but I guess you could call him an A0, as he is the prototype,
explained Sir TopHam Hatt. The engines were amazed.
So, please make him feel welcome.
With that, Sir TopHam Hatt left. Gordon backed slowly into the sheds. Well, hello there, Gordon, is it?
Yes, indeed. And who might you be?
Asked Gordon. Edward chimed in. Well, my name is Edward, and this is Colin, Adam, Henry, Glenn, and Eagle. Gordon looked at the other engines.
Well, nice to meet you all. Are there any other engines that work around here?
Asked Gordon. Why, yes, answered Edward. There's Clive, Neil, Matthew, Lily.
And Alfred?
Interjected Gordon. The other engines sighed.
Yes, there is also Alfred and 87546,
groaned Henry. Gordon was puzzled.
Is there something wrong?
Asked Gordon. The other engines sighed again. Well, the thing is, those two engines, particularly Alfred, interjected Edward's fireman. Yes, anyway, those two engines haven't been the nicest of engines since they arrived on the Sodor, said Edward's driver. Gordon and his crew were surprised.
Well, what about their crews?
Asked Gordon's driver. They seem to share somewhat of the same arrogant persona as their engines, replied Adam.
More likely it's the other way around,
muttered Adam's fireman. Silence fell, but then Edward spoke up. Yes, well, anyway, welcome to Sodor, Gordon. And what, may I ask, brings you to our railway?
Well, according to your controller, the amount of passengers that are currently leaving and coming to the island has increased, and your current express engine is unable to meet demand. So, I am here to be the new head of the main express passenger service. The Wild Nowister, if I'm correct?
The other engines and the crews were surprised.
Is there something wrong?
Well, no, but it's just that after today's events, and hearing that, I do hope Alfred and his crew have seized some sense.
Doubtful, given the current attitude,
replied Eagle's driver, and the other engines and the crews agreed. Soon, the crews had set off for home, and the engines soon fell asleep. All except Gordon. So many thoughts rushing through the big engine smokebox about his new railway, job, and particularly this Alfred and 87546. Given the other engines and the crew's descriptions, he was worried about what to expect. Soon, Gordon fell asleep too, but little did everyone at the sheds know that someone had heard everything. The next morning, Sir TopHam Hatt spoke to Alfred.
It has come to my attention that you and your crew have not been the nicest to the other engines and staff,
he said. Alfred remained silent.
I'll give you another chance, but if the three of you can't behave, then I won't be happy. So please, don't disappoint me,
he finished. Alfred and his crew reluctantly agreed. Meanwhile, the firelighter had come and lit the engine's fires. Soon, Gordon had built up a good head of steam and was ready to go.
Well, best get going. Can't be late for my final test run and time trial.
Do your best, Gordon, encouraged Edward.
Thanks. Now come on, guys. Let's get going.
Right, said Gordon's driver. With that, they set off for the station. Gordon soon arrived at Knapford Station, and the coaches were already there.
The coaches are already shunted. Maybe this won't be that different from the mainland,
he puffed to himself. Gordon slowly backed down onto his coaches. But as he waited for the guard's whistle, he and his crew noticed the coaches for the local passenger train on the other platform. I wonder whose coaches are those for? Asked Gordon's driver. But before he could get an answer, the three heard an unfamiliar whistle.
I wonder who that is,
asked Gordon. They soon found out. There, slowly backing down into the train, was a dark blue tender engine that Gordon had never seen before.
Hello, you must be the new engine,
said the engine.
Yes. And you are?
asked Gordon.
Oh, yes, right. What are my manners? Well, I don't actually have a name, but you can call me by my number, 87546. But I'm sure the other engines have told you three all there is to know about me and Alfred. Yes, indeed,
replied Gordon suspiciously.
It's so nice to see another L in the R engine, and a new one at that. Such a remarkable looking engine.
Gordon felt flattered. Just then, his guard blew his whistle.
Oh, that's your guard. You best get going. Oh, yes, right, come on, driver, let's get going.
Indeed. With that, Gordon's driver opened the regulator, and he set off.
He seems like a pleasant sort,
said Gordon. Yes, but best we keep an eye on him, as well as this Alfred, said the driver.
Indeed,
replied Gordon. Soon, the A0 was racing as fast as he could down the line.
This is the life,
said Gordon as he raced down the line. Soon, Gordon arrived at Wellsworth Station.
Right on time,
declared Gordon. Right on time indeed. We're over 3 minutes early, said Gordon's driver. The passengers and Sir TopHam Hatt were very surprised. About 3 minutes later, Clive arrived. Oh dear, am I late?
No, not at all.
Clive. My name is Clive.
Well, nice to meet you, Clive. I'm Gordon, the first and newest Doncaster John Pacific.
Clive was impressed. Soon, The passengers had boarded the train, the guard blew his whistle, and Gordon puffed away. Meanwhile, Alfred was puffing slowly down the line with another local passenger train.
A local train. A local train. The shame of it. Oh, the shame of it,
Huffed Alfred. I know. We were relocated here to board the most important passenger train on the railway, not silly local passenger trains, said Alfred's driver. Soon, Alfred had arrived at Vickerstown, but he and his crew were still complaining. Neil was in the yard when he overheard this and decided to intervene. Oh, do stop complaining, you three. Just be glad you at least have work to do, and not just sitting around doing nothing, he said, but Alfred just rolled his eyes. Once the guard blew his whistle, he puffed away. Why do I even bother? Sighed Neil. Well, I mean, you can't blame a guy or an engine for trying, replied his driver. Meanwhile, Gordon had reached Bower and Furnace. Goodness gracious, we're over 7 minutes early, said Gordon's fireman. Gordon was pleased with himself, and so were the passengers. But not everyone felt the same way. Later that evening, Sir TopHam Hatt came to see Gordon. Well, Gordon, I'm very impressed with what I saw.
Thank you, sir.
Ha. It looks like Gresley was right about you, being one of the fastest engines ever built in the UK. Keep this up, and I might end up keeping you. Gordon was excited, as well as the other engines. All except 2. As time went on, Gordon proved himself to be really useful to the railway, and the other engines started to like him. All except Alfred and 87546. The 2 engines and their crews were ruder than ever to the other engines and staff, especially Alfred and his crew. Come on, we're going to be late, barked Alfred's fireman. Well, maybe you 3 should go fetch your own trucks, huffed Colin. Before either one of them could reply, the guard blew his whistle, and Alfred puffed away. Bossy boiler, muttered Colin. Couldn't have put it better myself, replied Colin's driver. Both engine and crew knew that deep down, it was only a matter of time before Alfred and his crew's behavior would stir up trouble again. A few days later, Colin was taking some trucks to Tidmouth. He shunted the trucks into the sidings and went over to the turntable. How has the fancy rector kept those 2 engines here for this long? Asked Colin. I wish I knew, said Colin's driver. Soon, Colin had been turned. He was just about to leave when Alfred and 87546 arrived.
Would you move out of the way? You silly little tank engine. We're tired, and we have the rights of way,
huffed Alfred. But Colin refused to move. No, we need to get back to the yard. I have the rights of way. Use the other track, huffed Colin. But Alfred was not going to take no for an answer.
No, I am an important engine. You should get out of my way,
huffed Alfred. Then it happened. Alfred's driver did not put Alfred's brakes on properly, and Alfred started to move. He went bump straight into Colin. Oh, that's right, Alfred. Show him who's boss, said 87546. Hey, what was that for? You nearly derailed me, demanded Colin.
Well, you were in my way,
replied Alfred. With that, Colin reluctantly rolled back onto the turntable to let Alfred use it.
Now, was that really that hard?
Asked Alfred, but Colin just glared at him as he puffed away. But little did the B-12 know, as he was turned around, that someone had seen everything. That night, Sir TopHam Hatt came to see the engines.
Evening, engines. How are you?
Good, sir, said Edward.
Good. And Henry, how is the special coal? Good, sir. I feel like a new engine. Good.
He was just about to leave when Henry spoke up.
Sir, before you leave, I think there is something I should tell you.
Sir TopHam Hatt stopped.
What is it, Henry?
He asked. Henry told Sir TopHam Hatt what had happened, and about the B-12 and his crew's behavior recently, much to the surprise of the other engines and crew. Sir TopHam Hatt was very cross about this.
Don't worry, everyone. I'll have another talk with them, he said.
The engines and the crews were very happy about this. The next night, Sir TopHam Hatt spoke severely to Alfred and his crew.
I'm warning you three. If this behavior continues, there will be severe consequences,
he scolded. But after he left, Alfred just rolled his eyes.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I am an important engine who is the main reason why this railway is still running. There is no way he would try to do anything to me.
Well, yes, but I think we should cool it a little, said Alfred's driver.
Rubbish. They can't send me away. This railway's only going to get busier as time goes on. There's no way they're going to try to get rid of us,
huffed Alfred. But he was worried.